Hello, lovely family. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Canada. So, guys, I'll be doing a very short and quick video because I just want to share my 2 cents about living in Canada. Anybody that has been a regular on my channel knows that I have done previous videos where I have talked about not coming to Canada via the study permit route, and you should come to Canada via other means. But guys, let me just tell you for free, if you have a study permit, hold it very well. Disregard what I said. Okay, this video is meant for those that are coming to Canada on study permits, because I understand, and I shared in those previous videos, and I understand that not everybody can come as a PR, and that is what I expressly even also mentioned in those videos. I understand that not everybody can come as a permanent resident. If you can come as a study, if you can come via study, it is also very good. I basically share those videos to let people know that there are other means of coming to Canada. So that being said, you are a student coming to Canada. I just wanted to know those basic things so that it will be helpful for you when you come down to Canada, because Canada is like two sides of a coin. People experience it in different ways. For some people it's very nice, for some people it's not so nice. Another thing is that I will encourage you, but at the same time I want you to be open to the realities on ground, because it's not the same as where you're coming from. First things first, most people, like me, for example, we all say Ontario and everything. Ontario is not the only province in Canada. When people say that Canada is difficult, Canada is like this, basically, I think it comes from people that stay in Ontario. Ontario or British Columbia is one of the most expensive provinces you can stay in Canada. As such, house is not cheap. Cost of living is not cheap. To rent a house, to have basic things, you won't find it so cheaply like other provinces. If you can, I would advise you to spread your tentacles to other places. I understand the power of a community, and that is why I always say you should go to wherever you have people. But at the end of the day, guys, you just have to weigh and balance everything up. Ontario is not the only province in Canada. So if you can go to other places that might be cheaper for you, where cost of living is not so high, where you'll be able to find things a little bit better, then I would advise you to consider that. That being said, even if you're coming to Ontario, I would advise you not to go to the densely populated areas. I have heard this and it's not proven, but people have said it and they've said it time and again. If you can go to other places that are not as densely populated in Ontario. Of course, whenever you mention Ontario, the first place that comes to mind is Toronto, or the basic GTA area. We are talking about Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington, Brampton, Milton, Hamilton, and the likes of them. From what I have heard and from a lot of people who have experienced, they feel that if you go to densely populated places, you may not be able to get your postgraduate work permit or your PR as fast as you might want it to come. So most people advise you that you should go to places that are not as densely populated, places like Sudbury, places like Lindsay, places like Ottawa, places like Oshawa, that they feel that these places are better for you. Kingston, there are a lot of them, guys, that you can explore even in Ontario. So if you can, you don't have to stay primarily in the very populous places. A lot of people have said that they stayed back in places that a lot of people were not in, and were able to get their PGWP and their PR as fast as they wanted it. So if it is possible for you to consider this in your books, I would advise you to strongly consider it. It might not be easy, trust me, because a lot of people might not be where you are, but it all depends on the aim and everything. If your aim is to get PR, some people don't want to get PR, they just want to study and leave the country. But if your aim is to get PR, to get a postgraduate work permit after your study, getting to PR, then I think, or I hope, you should consider this aspect. Guys, the basic thing I want you to know before you leave your home country: I am Nigerian, and I believe that a lot of people are aiming to come to Canada via study. it's not a nice thing for you to come to Canada via study and an agent does it for you, and by the time you come you find out that what they did for you cannot like be exchanged to a postgraduate work permit. I have seen this a couple of times. There is some schools that you come in, but at the end of the day, they are not eligible to exchange your study permits to a postgraduate work permit and onwards to a PR. Sometimes when you come to Canada, you can change. So don't fret if what you have on your study permit is a school, but the major thing is that find out if you can change it by the time you come to Canada, or better still, from the beginning, just know that the place they're getting for you is such that when you're done with your study, you have the ability to work. And if you want to apply for PR, it will be easy for you to apply for PR. I would advise you get this from the get-go if possible. It all depends on how your application is done. It depends on a lot of things. So it's not one size fits all. I understand that, but make sure that you have this at the back of your mind, whether it is from when you're applying for the study permits, for the application, for the admission and everything. Find out about the school and find out if at the end of your study you can exchange it to get a work permit. Some schools do not offer this option, so have that at the back of your mind. Even if they don't offer it at the beginning, find out if you have the option of changing later on, and that should be quite easy for you to do. Guys, another thing I want you to know is coming into Canada as a student can be quite daunting. It might not be so easy. This is just a personal advice. It all depends on your circumstance. It depends on a lot of things. I have had people that have come to me to ask me this kind of very personal things, and I'll be like, who am I to advise you? You know yourself the best, you know your family the best and all that. But because these questions keep coming, I just thought to share them with you as well. It might be easier for one person to come first. So let's say you're coming in with your spouse, or of course they will give your spouse two work permits, open work permits, as the case might be. They might give your children study permits as well, depending on the ages of your children. For some people, they find it easier for them as a student to come first while their family stay back and all that. So it all depends on you. I am not in any position to advise you, to be very honest, but from what I have seen so far, most people that do this kind of have it like a little bit easier, whereby the person who is the student comes in first. You get your accommodation first, you start learning the ropes first, you understand everything. Then after some time, you can now invite every other person to come join you. By the time all of you have like known what the system is really like. So this is just like a very personal advice. You don't need to take my word for it. It all depends. Like, it's not one size fits all. It's not cast in stone. Guys, finally, one thing I will let you know is coming into Canada as a student, I am not discouraging you, but I want to prepare you if possible. I don't want to use like very negative words, but it can be kind of challenging. It can be very daunting in so many ways. I just want you to have this at the back of your mind, because I have mentioned, somebody was like, oh, why do people complain about traveling and everything? I made a comment on a blog one day and I was like, this is like passing through fire. When you pass through fire, you come out refined as gold or diamond. It doesn't last forever. That suffering that people say, oh, why do people that jackpot suffer and everything? For me, it has an expiry date. It won't last forever, but that period of survival is not always easy. I'll tell you that for free. I'll tell you that one for a fact. It tests you. So let me just tell you that this thing might test you. For a student, it can be kind of like challenging. You might not get jobs. Some people might not get jobs the way they are planning to get jobs. You might be thinking that once you come into the country, you get a job. Another thing that can be challenging is accommodation. Most people, even PR people, are not getting accommodation. So there's like a preference and all that, guys. For you being an immigrant alone, whether you're PR, whether you're a student, they might not want to give you house. It might take a lot for you to get a house. So I'm just letting you know, if possibly you came in and you got these things, that's a big miracle. And this takes me back to the very first point I made. I am speaking for Ontario as a province. If you go to other provinces, you might not have this. It might not be as difficult as this. So I'll keep on going back that I am speaking for Ontario. But the reason why I can categorically say this is because at least 70% of people that are coming in are coming into Ontario. So I think it is justified to make this assumption. So guys, let me tell you, or let me just reiterate it again. It can be challenging to get a job. It can be challenging to get accommodation. There's a huge influx of people and the system is getting really, really stretched. So I will tell you that have that at the back of your mind, but at the same time, have it at the back of your mind that whatever comes, you will surpass everything, like you will overcome everything. School work is a lot. I have friends that are students and they complain about how challenging school work is, the courses, the subjects they have to do, the projects they have to do, showing up and everything. It's not always easy, guys. Like, I don't want to make you scared, but just to prepare you. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I have seen people who are here. I have a very good friend who is here. She's amazing. She hasn't even gotten a PR. And she was working in Amazon in British Columbia. She was in British Columbia at the point she got another job in Ontario. And she came down to Ontario with her 4 children, guys. She has a good job. Like she told me one day, do you need money? I was like, hey, oh my God. Babe, you're asking me if I have money, if I need money. So you can imagine she has gone through hers. So that's the way life is. When she starts telling me all the experiences and everything, I it's heart-wrenching, to be honest. But it's just like when you're pregnant and you're having a baby. By the time the baby comes, you will have forgotten everything about the pregnancy. That is pretty much how this journey is. I would tell you for free, you might not find it easy. The prayer is that all of us find it easier than whatever it is, but I just want to prepare you. I'm not going to scare you, just to let you know and have it at the back of your mind that just imagine that you're pregnant, whether you're a man or a woman. Sorry about that, but just imagine it's like being pregnant, or you're expecting something and you're going to get the reward at the end of the day. Guys, don't worry. I will still choose study permits over visits. Let me tell you that one. Sorry if I am stepping on anybody's toes. I would rather you come in as a student than as visit, because these things are getting more difficult by the day. Before, I would have said visit is fine, but with what we are seeing now, that's why I'm making this video. Please hold your study permits to your chest. Like, it is trophy, it is gold. Not everybody has that, and for you to have that, it is pure gold. I have seen students who are saying that they are tired of Canada, they want to go back. It's not what they're expecting. In fact, I'm still talking to one lady and she was like, told me maybe my husband has to go back or something. That is why I even said, if possible, let some people stay back. Like, guys, you know what's up now. I don't want to say too much because, like I said, we are not the same. Everybody knows what they want at the end of the day. So that is why I just thought to do this video to you, so that you can share with someone who is planning to come into Canada. And if you're a student yourself, guys, I am sure I will celebrate with you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in subsequent videos. Don't be a stranger. Bye for now.